J-Mac, it's funny. Last night I texted J-Mac because he's out there, in his outfit and getting candy for the kids, and he was very negative about the Jets. And I said, hey, be positive. You're going into a nice Friday. And what do you know? In that fourth quarter, it all clicked for the Jets.
All right. I'm not going to get too excited. I was listed as doubtful for the show today after a long Halloween night on the injury report. But sure, they won. Go ahead. Gas them up, Colin. Let's hear it.
They snapped that 5-game losing skid, 21-13 win. Listen, all right, positive column. Because they played on Thursday, they get extra prep time for their next game. That's a big advantage with a veteran quarterback. So let's say they can beat Arizona. They get the Seahawks at home, and they get the Colts at home. They get the Rams at home. They play the cruddy Jaguars. If they end up kind of turning it around, one play is the catalyst, the catch by Garrett Wilson. Remarkable. That was a 3rd and 19 in the fourth quarter, and they just were stop and start offensively all game. Backup kicker, you didn't trust him. They trailed 10-7. That catch and the Texans' inability to protect C.J. Stroud, who was sacked 8 times, infused real life and energy into Aaron Rodgers, the sideline, the crowd. Before that catch, it kind of felt like they just couldn't keep any momentum going. Second half, I thought Aaron Rodgers played well, but that was the play. A 3rd and 19, fourth quarter, trailing. Can't trust your kicker. He's a backup. I mean, even on that drive before that 3rd and 19, great catch. They failed on a 4th and 1. The Texans had a penalty, and it bailed them out. So 2-7 was staring this team right in the face. Fans had bags on. I read this morning, apparently I couldn't hear this, they were chanting, "Sell the team" at MetLife Stadium. So, nice win. Now, nothing changes about the core of the Jets, right? We don't love the owner. It's an interim coach. They're on their second play caller. I mean, they had a touchdown nullified because some rookie wide receiver dropped the ball at the 1-yard line. They had a couple really, really bad special teams penalties. I mean, nothing has really, really changed, right? At their core, they beat themselves. They make silly mistakes. But that catch and Aaron Rodgers in the second half, where he had a passer rating of 147.7, it feels like something. And there is a route to the playoffs. You get to play the Dolphins twice, okay? Again, you get a lot of teams like the Colts. You beat the Texans last night, the Jaguars. Teams you could be battling for a wild card spot in the AFC. You're not as good as Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City. They're going to win their divisions. But you beat the Texans, they may be battling you for a wild card team. You could beat the Colts at home. The Jaguars, you have a chance here. All these teams that are going to end up in that 8 and 9 win territory, you got one done. You already lost to Denver, so you got to win the rest of them. But even when the Jets win, and Aaron plays pretty well in the second half, you don't trust them because they are a guidebook on how not to run a franchise despite the occasional brilliant catch or pass. I mean, this is their first win since September 19th. Think about that. The baseball playoffs hadn't started yet. That's the last time they won. I think Kamala Harris had just been nominated a few weeks earlier, right? So it had been a long time, and it was a home game on a short week against a team that's ravaged by injuries, the Texans. But you know what? It's the day after Halloween, so enjoy your Snickers and enjoy your Jets win. At least we know Snickers satisfies. 3-6 doesn't feel very satisfying, but I will say this. Aaron had a lot of energy. There are some offensive weapons. You're playing a lot of teams and just beat one that you'll probably be battling for an AFC wildcard spot. Here's Aaron after on Garrett Wilson's remarkable catch. That could be the catalyst for the season. Way to go, Jets. It was a great catch. Had an OBJ feel. One leg down and the shin. I really believe there are moments in life for teams, for people, for businesses when you can look back and go, man, it just gave us energy. And if you watch the Jets sideline after that play, it was like, there's a little juice here. We'll see what transpires going forward. Okay. So I said this yesterday, and I believe it. One of the more interesting games of the weekend, Chicago Bears, Arizona Cardinals. I think it's really interesting because the Bears' schedule, they get a couple of winnable games next. Then they go into a brutal, brutal slog against all the teams in their division. So Caleb Williams, the quarterback for the Bears, young, talented kid, his dad was messing around on X or Twitter last night. He has since deleted it, but at one point, he looked like he took a shot at the Bears coaching staff by complimenting the Commanders coaching staff. Hashtag accountability. Hashtag real coach. So dads do the strangest things. He has since deleted it. And I was just thinking about, don't we kind of all know how the Bears season's going to end? We do. They're going to win about 7 or 8 games. They're going to finish in 4th place in a great division. And then Matt Eberflus is not going to feel like the right coach. That's everything I predicted about 7 weeks ago before the season started. 4th place, Eberflus in trouble, and they're going to win about 7 or 8 games. It's turning out that way. Week to week, the NFL is kind of unpredictable, right? It feels crazy, but it's really not in a macro level. In fact, my shocking playoff team, the Commanders, even the surprises aren't that great of a revelation. I mean, I said, I think Commanders going to surprise people. They're the surprise team in the league. They're not that surprising. There are 3 things, though, and this is why I feel strongly about my preseason prediction on the Bears and why it's coming true. There are kind of 3 things that work against the Bears. Number 1 is the Commanders staff is making their rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, look so seamless, so excellent, so amazing. You're being compared to that. And with Caleb Williams, it feels like it's like 1 step forward, 1 step back. Okay, let's refine the reads. Let's simplify the offense. It looks very bumpy and very, very turbulent. And in Washington, it just looks like great coaching, great kid, going in one direction. So that's working against you. The second thing that works against you, pretty predictable, Packers, great quarterback, great offensive coach. Vikings, good quarterback, great offensive coach. Lions, excellent quarterback. I mean, Dan Campbell's been an excellent coach so far. Offense, 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 offense. Bears, what do you know? Defensive coach, and the offense is all over the map. So, again, you're going to be compared to the Commanders. You're going to be compared to the quarterbacks and the coaching in your division. And the third thing working against Eberflus, and why I think my prediction was, pretty easy on the Bears, is their history. Everybody in Chicago is like, do we really trust the Bears to elevate an excellent young talented quarterback? They've never had a 4,000-yard in one season, a 4,000-yard quarterback. So there's no confidence the organization can get it done. And I would argue strongly they already screwed it up by interviewing Cliff Kingsbury, who was Caleb's coach in college at USC, and they let him walk out of the building without a contract. He reportedly, I was told he wanted to work with Caleb Williams, and they passed on him. And look at what a great job Kingsbury's doing with Jaden Daniels, who he's never worked with before, but is crushing it. So Caleb's dad inflaming things, and don't kid yourself, people are talking about that. Parents know when their kids are unhappy. Caleb's dad inflaming things is only about number 38 on the list of things I worry about. And all things stated, it should be also duly noted that Bears players this week went out and criticized publicly the Bears staff. So I don't think the dad going hashtag accountability, hashtag real coach is something I love, but I do think that Matt Eberflus will get 1 year to work with Caleb Williams. And last week, that second half meltdown did not play to his favor. Danny Parkins on our morning show here, Breakfast Ball, former Chicago radio host, talks about Eberflus.
The thing with Matt Eberflus that drives me insane is don't you know what on my shoes and tell me it's raining. Like he was like, I don't think we needed a timeout before the Hail Mary because everyone was in position. Tyreek Stevenson's back was to the ball. Like, everyone wasn't in position. Matt Eberflus kind of chose the route of denial instead of accountability, and that's the thing, honestly, more than the failed execution that bothered me most.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.